According to our testing, Black Bolt's voice may very well be the most powerful and dangerous gift in all of human history.
We're not sure if you caught this, but that brutal scene in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was a lot for Marvel to handle. I mean, they wiped out one of the most terrifying Inhumans in Marvel Comics, the guy who's taken down his own son, armed by Kang the Conqueror no less. So, did Marvel really just kill off the king of the Inhumans? Well, technically yes and no, but don't worry, we're here to break down everything we know about where Black Bolt might pop up next in the MCU, and who knows, maybe even get his own movie as the King of the Inhumans. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness had some pretty wild multiverse cameos, especially with the Illuminati from Earth 838. Among them was Blackagar Boltagon, aka Black Bolt, the King of the Inhumans, with Anson Mount reprising his role from the ill-fated ABC series Inhumans. Now, most fans probably thought Mount's Black Bolt was done for when Inhumans got cancelled, but he surprised everyone with one more extended cameo, only to be taken out by the Scarlet Witch. But here's the thing, Marvel could easily pull off that trick again, which means there's a decent chance we might see Black Bolt pop up in another MCU project sometime soon. Even though Kevin Feige and the Marvel Studios team haven't announced a follow-up to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness yet, it feels inevitable given how successful that movie was. We don't know much about Doctor Strange 3 right now, but it's pretty safe to say it'll deal with Charlize Theron's character Clea, who showed up in the mid-credits scene to warn Strange about a looming incursion. If that scene is any indication, the next Doctor Strange movie will dive even deeper into the multiverse madness. And with that kind of untethered, anything-goes approach, there's a good chance we could see a still-living variant of Black Bolt, one who might last longer than his Earth 838 counterpart. A recent shift in focus from Kang to RDJ playing Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday has sparked speculation that Doctor Strange might be gearing up to face RDJ's Doctor. This version of Doom seems bent on destroying the sacred timeline in the MCU, which could bring together a bunch of superheroes from Earth 616 and other universes to stop him in the void. This setup might even pave the way for the Inhumans to be introduced in Avengers Secret Wars, which is rumored to take place in the Void, a place that doesn't disappear even when a universe is destroyed. And honestly, who better to lead the Inhumans against Doctor Doom than their king, Black Bolt? Another theory that could be on the cards is seeing Black Bolt make an appearance in the upcoming MCU X-Men movie. This could set up an epic showdown between the X-Men and the Inhumans. Now, this X-Men movie might take place in a different universe from Earth 616, allowing Marvel to bring them into the main MCU timeline later on. Since the Fantastic Four is set to debut in the MCU, but not from the same universe, it's possible that the Inhumans could come from another universe as well, potentially arriving to challenge the X-Men on Earth 616. The mutant team is definitely on its way to the MCU, though the exact timing remains a mystery. Kevin Feige hinted back in 2019 that we wouldn't be seeing the X-Men until 2025, which just so happens to line up with Phase 6. We've already seen Patrick Stewart's Professor X in Doctor Strange and Wolverine's return in Deadpool and Wolverine, so seeing the rest of the X-Men in Phase 6 isn't out of the question. Plus, the MCU has already started introducing mutants with Ms. Marvel, and Namor in Black Panther Wakanda Forever is also a mutant, so it seems like the X-Men could be right around the corner. Another upcoming Marvel show where we could potentially see Black Bolt is Moon Knight. The series ended with plenty of significant implications for the character, who continues to unknowingly serve as the right hand of the Egyptian moon god Khonshu. While there hasn't been an official announcement for a second season, it seems almost inevitable given how successful the first season was with both critics and fans. Now, while it might seem like a long shot to see any Inhumans pop up in Moon Knight, there is an interesting connection between them. Mark Spector, along with his various identities, serves the Egyptian god of the moon, while Black Bolt and the Inhumans have historically lived in a city on the moon's surface called Attilan. Because of this, Khonshu would undoubtedly be aware of the Inhumans, and it's possible that he even has some kind of relationship with them, possibly offering them refuge in his sacred domain. It's entirely possible that the Inhumans could be living on the moon of Earth 616 in the MCU. In the comics, the Inhuman city Attilan is often depicted as being located on the moon's blue area, a place with a breathable atmosphere. If the MCU were to introduce the Inhumans, they could easily establish that Attilan exists on the moon of Earth 616, hidden from humanity. This could be an intriguing way to bring the Inhumans into the fold, as it would explain why they haven't been involved in previous events on Earth. The idea of a hidden, advanced civilization on the moon aligns well with the MCU's knack for revealing new layers to its universe. Plus, the connection to the moon could tie into other cosmic elements in the MCU, such as Moon Knight and even future Fantastic Four storylines. If this theory pans out, we could be looking at a fresh start for the Inhumans in the MCU, complete with a new team that's quite different from what we saw in the 2017 Inhumans TV show. Back then, Anson Mount played Black Bolt, the king of the Inhumans, but since his character met a rather grim fate in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, it's clear that the MCU might be ready for some big changes. This opens the door for Marvel to recast Black Bolt or even introduce a different version of the character from another universe. With the multiverse in play, anything's possible. A new Black Bolt could bring fresh energy to the role, and maybe even explore aspects of the character that weren't touched on before. Plus, it's not just Black Bolt who could get a makeover. The whole Inhuman team could be reimagined, with new actors and possibly even new characters joining the ranks. This would give Marvel a chance to correct the course after the less than stellar reception of the 2017 show. By setting up the Inhumans on the moon of Earth 616, Marvel could introduce them in a way that feels epic and grounded in the larger MCU story. Imagine a hidden city on the moon, home to a powerful and mysterious race that's been watching Earth all this time. The potential for crossovers with other cosmic or mystical characters like Moon Knight or even the Fantastic Four is huge. So while the original Inhumans show might not have hit the mark, a rebooted version in the MCU could finally do these characters justice, giving them the spotlight they deserve in a way that's exciting and fresh. Or maybe a Black Bolt movie is exactly what the MCU needs to properly introduce the Inhumans living on the moon of Earth 616. A solo film focused on Black Bolt could delve deep into his origin, his struggles with his devastating power, and the secretive society of Inhumans on the moon. This would not only reintroduce the character in a big way, but also set the stage for the Inhumans as a major force in the MCU. With the right story and the right cast, a Black Bolt movie could be the perfect way to explore this fascinating corner of the Marvel Universe and bring these characters into the spotlight where they belong. Plus, it would give the MCU a chance to course correct after the 2017 TV show and finally do justice to Black Bolt and his fellow Inhumans. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one. If you have any suggestions for future topics, drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you want to see next.